Hello students, how are you? I'm fine. Today we will discuss about the second chapter of the water pollution and control, module 2, lecture 15. So just go to my classroom. Okay, so we are discussing about the water pollution and control. That is your module 2, and today we will discuss about the what if, I have already, as I told, that is the lecture 15. Now, this is the recapitulation of previous class. Whatever we have discussed in the previous class about that topics, first we will discuss. So, first topic, what was the importance? The first topic was what is the importance of that chapter, of this chapter, water pollution and control. You Next, we have discussed about the definition of hydrosphere. The third topic was the hydrological cycle. The fourth one is the how we can classify the water pollutants. And the fifth one was what are the water quality parameters that we have. So these are the all the topics that we have discussed already in my previous class. Now just have a look at a glance whatever we have discussed so far. So this is a infographic of India. Already you know only 4% of the fresh water that is we can access for our entire population. So very less amount of water we have for access. And among which 66.6% of the water is used for the irrigation purpose, and which we are getting from the groundwater, and 60% of the Indian districts again facing over exploitation of the groundwater. Next, this is the whole current scenario of the whole world, how we are facing the water scarcity. So, 2.8 billion people around the world are affected by the water scarcity problem, among which 1.2 billion people, which is almost one-sixth of the total population of the world, are facing the lack of access of clean drinking water. And lastly, according to the United Nations, they state that by 2025, around 1.9 billion people will be living absolutely water scarcity. So this is the total scenario of the whole world. Now come to the our country. So here also we are facing the water scarcity problem, and these are the some of the popular pictures that we know already, some of the popular photos where by which these photos are showing what are the water scarcity, what are the current scenario of our India. Next the topic was that is hydrosphere. Next we have discussed about the hydrosphere. Hydrosphere is the whatever water resources we have, so that is called by hydrosphere, among which only 0.63% is the groundwater. Okay, next we have discussed about the hydrological cycle, and these are the 5 steps of the hydrological cycle. First one is the evaporation and transpiration, from where we are getting the water into our environment. Next one is the cloud formation. Then we have the condensation. After the cloud formation, then all the water droplets will condense, and after that the precipitation will take place, and the water will be precipitated as a rain. And the fifth step is the runoff process, and again the evaporation and transpiration process will be followed. So this is the total hydrological cycle. Now we have discussed about the classification of water pollutants. Like we have domestic, there are 3 types of domestic water pollutants: industrial water pollutants and agricultural runoff. So these are the types of water pollutants that already we have seen. in our previous class. Again, what are the water quality parameters? Okay, so this is very important topic, that is water quality parameters. That is very important because first of all, while if we are solving the problem of water scarcity, first of all we should know what are the quality of parameters. That time only we can purify our water and we can access that water. Understand? So generally water quality parameters are of two type. One is physical and one is chemical parameters. Water quality parameters. Water quality parameters are of two types. One is physical and one is chemical. So already we have seen what are the quality parameters that we have, that is belongs to the physical parameters, and what are the quality parameters that we have which is belongs to the chemical parameters. Now this is a quick review. Whether you can remember, whether you remembered your last previous topic or not, that for that I have given one question, that is which one is not a chemical parameter to measure the quality of water. Here are the options given, that is pH, COD, POD and TDS. Now students, what you have to do, you have only 10 seconds. You have to just memorize whatever you have, you know about the, you knew from my previous class, and you can answer. Okay, now your 10 seconds is over. Now we will, yeah, of course it is. That is the TDS. TDS is not a chemical parameter. TDS, the total dissolved solid. The full form of the TDS is total dissolved solid, and it is absolutely a physical parameter, not the chemical parameter. Yeah, of course. So these are the physical parameters: water temperature, order of the water, color of the water, taste of the water, and as I told, that is the total dissolved solid. That is, these are the some of the quality parameters that belongs to the physical parameters. Okay, so this is total dissolved solid. Again, for the drinking water, whatever we are getting from the RO or microfiltration or distillation unit, so always the value, the the range of the TDS value will be less than 50, 0 to 50. Okay, and high TDS value will be from 300 to 400, and that is generally like tap water, whatever we are getting, or mineral spring. Okay, so that water contain the high TDS value, that is greater than 200, that is in between 300 and 400 ppm. The unit of the TDS is ppm, mane parts per million. Okay, that is milligram per liter. That is called ppm. Okay, now these are the some of the chemical parameters, that is pH, BOD, COD, dissolved oxygen, total hardness and heavy metals. Okay, so we have seen also in the in our previous class that pH, the parameter we have discussed about the pH, we have discussed about the BOD, and also we have discussed about the chemical oxygen demand. So this is the pH scale. And generally whatever water we are consuming, for that water the pH should be value of the pH should be 7, and acidic pH below 7 is the acidic range, and greater than 7 is the alkaline range. Okay, and these are the some of the examples, whatever we are taking, and what will be the pH scale for that food whatever we are taking. Next very important parameter is biochemical oxygen demand, and also today we will discuss about the BOD in detail. That is BOD. What is BOD actually? In water, whatever biodegradable materials we have, biodegradable materials. Mind it, biodegradable materials. Biodegradable means it can decompose into the nature with the help of natural oxygen. Okay, so in water, whatever biodegradable materials we have, for their decomposition, the total amount of required dissolved oxygen, the total amount of required dissolved oxygen, that is called by BOD, biological oxygen demand. Absolutely right. That is, BOD is actually the amount of dissolved oxygen which is required for the decomposition of what? For the decomposition of the biodegradable materials. Now, some of the examples of biodegradable materials are like waste paper. Papers are made of plants. So that means the composition of the paper is cellulose. So cellulose is one of the example of biodegradable materials. Vegetable waste, dry leaves, dead bodies, kitchen waste. Okay, so these are all the biodegradable materials or organic waste which can be decomposed into the nature, and for their decomposition, whatever dissolved oxygen we require, that is called by biological oxygen demand or biochemical oxygen demand. So that is BOD, and the unit of the BOD is milligram per liter. Mind it, milligram per liter. Okay, now this is, here is the reaction, that is organic or biodegradable, whatever you can say, that is biodegradable waste plus DO, capital D capital O, that means capital D capital O means dissolved oxygen. Okay, capital D capital O, that is dissolved oxygen with the help of microorganism. What is the role of here microorganism? Microorganism are acting as the catalyst in this reaction, and after this, after with the help of the microorganisms and with the reaction with the dissolved oxygen, the organic materials whatever present into the water, that is transforming into the carbon dioxide and H2O. Okay, so this is the total reaction mechanisms whatever we have in BOD. Understand? So this is called BOD. Now next parameter, next important parameter is COD, that is chemical oxygen demand. The full form of the COD is chemical oxygen demand. Okay, so COD means like if in our water we have both biodegradable and non-biodegradable materials, so what will happen? First of all, we have to take that wastewater sample into the lab, and there we are treating the sample with potassium dichromate and H2SO4. Why this potassium dichromate and H2SO4? Because potassium dichromate and H2SO4, these two are the strong oxidizing agent. Understand? These two are the strong oxidizing agent. What will happen with the help of this strong oxidizing agent? Whatever organic biodegradable materials or non-biodegradable materials we have, whatever we have, all can be decomposed into the carbon dioxide and H2O. Understand? And what is the role of here mercury sulfate and silver sulfate? Again, these are the catalysts. So for this reaction, whatever oxygen we require, look here, it's already written that is COD is defined as the required amount of oxygen to decompose both bio and non-biodegradable materials present in water. That means for this reaction, whatever oxygen we require, that is called by COD, chemical oxygen demand. Now question is, oxygen, who will provide the oxygen? Yes, of course, the potassium dichromate, these are the strong oxidizing agent, the sulfuric acid. So this mixture will provide our the oxygen molecules, and whatever oxygen molecules we require for this reaction, that is called by COD. Is this clear to all? Now question is, So that means what will happen? What is the relation between BOD and COD? Exactly. So the relation between BOD and COD is obviously COD is greater than BOD. Why this is? Because in COD means what? The amount of oxygen required to decompose both bio and non-biodegradable materials. Are BOD, for BOD what? Only the biodegradable materials decompose. So that is why COD is always greater than BOD. So this is all about the BOD, about the BOD and COD. Now, today's in today's class, we will discuss, these are the objectives, okay? We will discuss about the determination of BOD of water sample. From this class, you can also know the procedure of 5 days BOD test. Yeah, we have one 5 days BOD test. After this 5-day BOD test, we can calculate the BOD value of a water sample. Yes, you can also know the procedure of the modified 5 days BOD test. So also we have one modified 5 days BOD test. Also that about that you can know, and after all this you can after this session you can ultimately calculate the BOD of a given water sample. Understand? So these are the objectives of the today's class. Now I think you have a clear idea about the BOD of a water sample. So here is, in the presence of free oxygen, aerobic bacteria use the organic matter in wastewater as food. What does it mean? That means whatever bacteria, that means microorganism, I have already told you, the reaction in the BOD reaction, the microorganisms are acting as a catalyst. So that aerobic microorganisms or bacteria use the organic matter, whatever organic materials, waste materials that we have in water, that waste materials they are using as their food. That means that is why the BOD test is an estimate of the food available in the sample. That means if you know the value of the BOD, you can know in your wastewater sample what are the organic waste you have, how much organic waste you have in your sample, that you can know after this BOD test. The more food present in the waste, the more dissolved oxygen will be required. Very simple, because whatever organic materials we have in water, for their decomposition we require the dissolved oxygen, right? So if in our water the amount of organic waste is higher, very higher amount, large amount, what will happen? That time for the decomposition we require large amount of dissolved oxygen. That is why the more food means the more organic waste present in the water, wastewater, the more dissolved oxygen will be required. Very simple. The BOD test measures the strength of the wastewater by measuring the amount of oxygen used by the bacteria as they stabilize the organic matter under controlled condition of time and temperature. So again, BOD test is the measure of the strength of the wastewater, that how much amount of organic waste are there in our wastewater sample. So this is the schematic diagram of the how we can determine the BOD. Acha, first you should know again, this is the very clear concept that BOD is different, totally different than the dissolved oxygen. Understand? Yes, BOD is different than dissolved oxygen. Dissolved oxygen means whatever oxygen is dissolved into our water, that is called dissolved oxygen. Understand? whatever oxygen we have in our sample. But BOD what? BOD is the amount of dissolved oxygen required for this reaction. Which reaction? In this reaction, where the biodegradable waste material will be decomposed into the carbon dioxide and H2O with the help of microorganisms. Understand? Very clear concept. Yeah. So look, so that means BOD means the dissolved oxygen consumed during the reaction. A dissolved oxygen means, that means whatever oxygen, the total amount of oxygen present in water. These are the different one. The both are different. Okay. Now, now come to the determination of BOD test. So this is very renowned test, that is 5 days BOD test. Why 5 days? Why we have used here 5 days? Because we have assumed that whatever waste materials we have in our water, that can be 5 days is enough to decompose the whole organic materials. Understand? So that is why we have assumed that 5 days is enough. In this 5 days duration, the total organic materials will be decomposed. Now, what is the procedure of this 5 days BOD test? First step, the step one, what we have to do, first of all, we have to, whatever wastewater sample we have to first collect it, and we have to kept it in a 300 ml stoppered bottle. I will tell you why we are using the stoppered bottle, not the conical, not the beaker, not the volumetric flask. Okay, that I will tell you. So in a 300 ml stoppered bottle, we are keeping our wastewater sample, whatever it is, VML, XML, whatever it is, we have kept it. Now, what will happen? What we will do next? The sample was then diluted by water, and rest of the volume was made up to the total volume. Okay, so whatever our wastewater sample, what after taking the wastewater, we have to dilute that wastewater. Mind it, dilute. We have to dilute that wastewater by the simple water and make the volume up to 300, because as we have taken the 300 ml stopper bottle. Okay, so after that, initially we will measure the dissolved oxygen, and that is we have considered as DOI. Understand? Initially the dissolved oxygen is DOI of our wastewater sample. Next, what we have to do next, that sample we have to, that stoppered bottle we have to keep in a dark place for 5 days at 20 degrees centigrade. Okay, for to complete the total reaction of the decomposition of biodegradable waste materials. This is our reaction. So then we have kept the bottle in a dark place at 20 degrees centigrade for 5 days. And after 5 days, what we have to do? After 5 days, we just take out the bottle, the stoppered bottle, and then again we will measure the amount of dissolved oxygen, and which is final amount of dissolved oxygen which is final amount of dissolved oxygen, and that is DOF. Understand? So this is the total procedure of BOD. First, what we have to collect the wastewater sample and kept it and keep it into the 300 ml stoppered bottle. Next, that wastewater sample we will dilute by adding some more water to make up the volume up to 300. Now we will measure the dissolved oxygen. What is the initial amount of dissolved oxygen of that solution? And we have considered that is your DOI. Okay. Now that bottle we are keeping into the dark place at 20 degrees centigrade for 5 days. After 5 days, the reaction will be completed as our assumption, and then we will measure the final amount of dissolved oxygen, and which is DOF. We have considered that final amount of dissolved oxygen, that is DOF. So this is the total schematic diagram of the 5 days BOD test. Wastewater and diluted water. We have taken this 300 ml stoppered bottle, mind it, huh? And we for this bottle, for this sample, the initial DO is DOI. Then we have taken for 5 days 20 degrees centigrade at dark place, and finally whatever we have got, that is the dissolved oxygen final. Now students, can anyone tell me what is the BOD amount? Because as you know, don't see the screen, just tell me, just think about it, because you know BOD is the total amount of dissolved oxygen consumption during the reaction. Understand? Reaction of what? What reaction? Which reaction? The reaction to decompose the biodegradable waste material, right? With the help of the dissolved oxygen. So, if we know the initial value and final value, obviously initial minus final, if we do the initial volume of the dissolved oxygen, the final volume of the dissolved oxygen, if you know this two value, then if you subtract this thing, so we can get easily the BOD 5 of our wastewater, exactly. So that is why you can see the equation, that is BOD 5, that is equals to DOI minus DOF divided by P. Look here, DOI minus DOF. This is very clear. Initial minus final, if we do, that time we will get the amount of dissolved oxygen required by consumed during the reaction. But why P? What is this P? Actually, P is the dilution factor. Dilution factor, that means volume of wastewater, that is equals to volume of wastewater divided by total volume. Now, why this dilution factor we have included? This is the very common question that you can have. What is the significance of this P value, dilution factor? Okay, so some of the question from this portion, from this BOD reaction, some of the questions are very common, that what is the significance of this dilution factor? Why the BOD reactions are taking place in the stoppered bottle? Why the BOD reaction is taking place in the dark place? Okay, these are the very common question and very important question that you are frequently asked in the exams. So the first question, come to the first question, that is why we are using here the stoppered bottle. The stoppered bottle, look here, what 5 days, in this 5 days BOD test, what we are measuring? We are calculating the amount of dissolved oxygen required for the decomposition of the biodegradable waste. Okay, now if the bottle is if we don't have the stopper, what will happen? The bottle is open to air. In air we have so many molecules so can we get the, so that oxygen molecule can enter into the bottle? So in this case, can we get the exact amount of dissolved oxygen, exact amount of the oxygen required for this reaction? No, not at all. So that is why the stoppered bottle is very important for this reaction, for this test. Okay, so that the bottle will be closed, so that the oxygen in the open air cannot mix to the bottle and cannot interfere into the reaction. That is why for getting the exact value of the BOD, we should use the stoppered bottle. Okay, now next question, why the BOD reactions are taking place in the dark place? Okay, that is also very important question. Look here, Why? Because BOD reaction is photosensitive reaction. Photosensitive, understand? So with the help of the sunlight, some of the free radicals can be generated during the reaction. If the free radicals can be generated, that time the it will interfere into the reaction, and that time the organic waste cannot be decomposed totally with the help of dissolved oxygen. That is why if we don't get any interference with these free radicals, that is why it's very important कि we have to take it into the dark place. We have to keep the bottle in the dark place, and the reaction must be taking place into the dark place, okay, in absence of sunlight, understand? And the third question that is very important again, key dilution factor. Now dilution factor, why? Because obviously we are incorporating this dilution factor. Why? Because of the dilution of our wastewater. Look here, that you can see that we have taken wastewater, and after that we have diluted it in with the water. Hmm? So, as we are diluting our wastewater sample, that is why the P is incorporated in this BOD5 equation. Understand? Now, question is, what is the importance of using this water? If we use a concentrated uh, wastewater sample, then what will happen? Now, answer is here. In our water, the saturated value of dissolved oxygen is only 9 milligram per liter. This is a saturated value of dissolved oxygen in water. Understand? Now, if we use only the wastewater, the concentrated one, what will happen? For their decomposition, we require 100 milligram 100 milligram per liter 100 milligram per liter of dissolved oxygen, understand? So who will provide the rest of the dissolved oxygen? Because only water we have the saturated value. If we take the ideal water, that will give you 9 milligram, maximum 9 milligram per liter dissolved oxygen. So but we need 100 milligram per liter for the concentrated wastewater sample. So who will provide the rest of the rest of the dissolved oxygen? Exactly, for this we have to dilute our wastewater sample by adding some of the water, so that the organic waste can be decomposed with the help of dissolved oxygen. And that is why we have to dilute our sample, and that's why the P is incorporated here. So the value of the P is volume of wastewater, whatever we are taking, XML, YML, whatever we are taking, X or YML divided by total volume. Here, as total volume is 300 ml, so X by 300 ml will be the P for this test. Understand? Yeah, of course. So this is all about the 5 days BOD test, by which we can know BOD 5. Now, why BOD suffix a 5? Because 5 days. As we are taking 5 days for the test, that is why it's BOD 5. BOD 5, that is equals to DOI minus DOF divided by P. So this is the formula of the 5 days BOD test. So all this about the 5 days BOD test. Now we will see the modified BOD test. The modified BOD test also we have. Okay, so look here. Here we have used wastewater and we have diluted it with the water. And whatever, first of all, we have measured the amount of the dissolved oxygen and keep it into the fire for the 5 days dark place at 20 degrees centigrade. And after that, finally again we have this measured the value of the final dissolved oxygen, and that is DOF. And now BOD5 is the DOI minus DOF, that divided by P. P is as I told you, P is a dilution factor. Now what will happen? Uh, Here wastewater is diluted by adding the water. That means here in this bottle we have water plus wastewater. That means whatever the dissolved oxygen initial values we are getting, that is for the total value. Whatever final value we are getting here, that is for the total value. Total means water plus wastewater. Understand? So whatever BOD here we are getting BOD5, that is the BOD5 of the total, that is wastewater plus water, because here we didn't consider that BOD of the water sample. Okay, now we have to obviously consider about the BOD of our water sample, and that is why for this 5 days test, for this test, whatever BOD we are getting, that is for the total BOD. Total BOD 5. Total means the wastewater plus the water, whatever we are taking for the dilution purpose. Understand? So these BOD is for the total BOD. This is not the actual value of the wastewater. So from this total BOD, we have to subtract the value of the wastewater BOD. The subtract the value of the, sorry, the water BOD. Whatever water we are using for the dilution, what is the BOD of that water, and if we subtract that BOD from the total BOD 5, whatever we have calculated, that time only we will get the actual value of wastewater. That is why we need the modified BOD test. Understand? So next day we will discuss about the procedure of modified 5 days test. Now you know why we introduce this modified 5 days, as in the previous case whatever BOD we have calculated, that is only the BOD of total means wastewater plus water. We have to also consider about the BOD of the water. So if we subtract the BOD of the water from the total value, total BOD 5 minus BOD5 of the water, that will give you the actual value of the BOD of wastewater. Understand? So next day we will discuss the procedure, the details of the modified BOD test. Okay, now this is a quick review. So these are the some of the important question which we have already discussed. That is the significance of dilution factor. Why we need the dilution? Because for our water sample, any water sample, the maximum saturation value is 9 milligram per liter. That is not enough for the decomposition of the wastewater if we are using the concentrated wastewater, if we are not diluting our wastewater sample. So that is why we need to dilute our wastewater sample to confirm that our decomposition reaction may be completed. Okay, why 5 days BOD test is modified? As I told you, again I am repeating that 5 days BOD test is modified actually, as because previously we have considered that BOD of the water is nil. We don't have any BOD, but actually that is not the case. Water also having some BOD value. So whatever total BOD we have, from that total BOD we have to subtract the BOD of the water. That time only we will get the BOD of the wastewater, the actual value. And next, why does the reaction is always taking place in the stoppered bottle? As because we have to prevent the aerial oxygen, whatever oxygen we have in the open air, that oxygen cannot come to the come to our reaction bottle, so that we can get the actual value of the BOD. So for to make sure this thing, so we have to use the always the stoppered bottle. And the next important one more important question we have, that is the always BOD reactions are taking place in the dark place. Why? Because BOD reactions is very sensitive to the sunlight. So in presence of sunlight, some of the free radicals will be generated, and that radicals will can interfere into the BOD reaction. That time we cannot get the actual BOD value. That is why always the reaction should be taking place into the dark place. Okay, so this is the total question. Yeah, this is the answer. Why the BOD test is done in dark place. That actually this question is for you guys. You have the 10 seconds, and here is the answer. That is, as the reaction is photosensitive. Very good. Okay, so this is all about the recapitulation. Whatever we have discussed so far, the topic, that is first of all determination of BOD of a water sample check. Know the procedure of 5 days BOD test. Yeah, now we can know the procedure. What are the procedure of 5 days BOD test? Know the procedure of modified BOD test. So today we will discuss why we require the modified test, and next day we will discuss in detail the modified BOD test. Okay, so to some extent this is left, and the calculation of BOD of a given water sample, that also know, because you know the BOD 5 equals to DOI, meaning initial dissolved oxygen minus final dissolved oxygen divided by P. What is P? P is the dilution factor, that is equals to volume of total wastewater taken divided by volume of total uh, uh, solution, the total volume. Understand? So whatever volume of wastewater we have divided by total volume, if we do, that time we will get the dilution factor. So that means DOI minus DOF divided by P. So these equation you should remember, because there are so many problems you can have in your exam which is based on this equation. Understand? So this is very important equation. So these are the topics. This is the end of the today's class. So thank you so much, students.